My name is April Barman, and I am with Seed Code from Seattle, Washington.
Perfect. All right. So, is this your first pause?
Yes, yes, it is.
All right. And how did your first pause go?
It was great. Very different from any conference that I've ever been to for a job before. Very interesting.
Okay. What made it interesting?
So I used to be a GM for a quick serve restaurant, and we had to go to a conference in Vegas, and it was just like meeting after meeting and no time to yourself, and getting from like your hotel room to the actual conference area. It was like a 20 to 30-minute walk, and it was very exhausting, very busy, and it wasn't any fun. So being at pause and just kind of looking at the schedule and having sessions, but then also having like recess and just choose your own adventure and open time. Like the first day, I didn't know what to do with myself, but then after that, it was like, well,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna explore and enjoy the peacefulness and the quiet, I guess. So it was really nice.
that's awesome. What did you think of the venue itself?
I liked it a lot, actually. My husband speaks Hebrew, so I was taking pictures of everything and sending it to him, like, what
That's
does this
awesome.
mean? And he was
How
like,
cool.
yeah, he was like, why are you at a Jewish camp? Um, but it was really cool. I liked it a lot. It was walkable, and it was very well laid out. There was lots to do. It was just absolutely beautiful, and yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
Good. How did you feel about the opening sessions at the beginning of the day? Did you enjoy having the whole group together?
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely nice. It was nice to hear from everybody, get a feel for why everyone's there or why people came back, if it wasn't their first one. Um, and yeah, just kind of nice to see everybody and say hello.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. And you got to hang out with some of your coworkers, right?
Yes, it was my first time. Well, I met one of my coworkers. I went to visit some family in Philadelphia, and one of
Okay.
my coworkers lives in Pennsylvania, so we actually got to get dinner. But it was the first time meeting everyone else,
Oh,
and it was
wow.
great. Yeah.
Oh, good. Very cool. Um, what about other conversations or other sessions you attended? What were some of the things that stuck out to you about the event?
Well, I don't specifically, I don't work with FileMaker, but it was nice to
Okay.
kind of hear some things about it and kind of take a peek into the community, which was really nice. I have, a lot of my other teammates work with FileMaker, so it's definitely something that I know I'll have to interact with eventually. Um, but it was also nice to just kind of get a sense of some other things like the UX session, and then also the storytelling was probably my favorite. It was
Yeah.
just kind of like, hey, I'm going to do some storytelling if anybody wants to join. And it was probably like one of my favorite things.
Did you? So this is interesting. So I hadn't realized that you didn't do FileMaker. So did you know? So much of Pause on Error is very specific about the FileMaker community. So did you feel welcome? Did you feel like an outsider? How did it feel hanging out with these people who identify so strongly with the platform?
I didn't feel weird or kind of excluded in any way. I definitely felt welcome. Um, everybody was just very everybody was just very nice. And the conversations, even if I couldn't exactly contribute, I could still keep up with them.
Yeah.
And then some people had JavaScript questions, which is what I do, so I was able to kind of help. And then also like point them to Tanner, my teammate, because he's definitely better with JavaScript than I am. It's like, who would know the answer to this question? Tanner.
Tanner.
But no, it was really great. And yeah, like I've dabbled a tiny bit with FileMaker, but I definitely don't know as much as anybody else that was there. But it was really nice to kind of chat with everyone.
Oh, good, 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 good. I remember we sat in a circle and got to play a board game outside, kind of a non board game, and
Yes.
that was such a nice chance to meet you and a nice break from the rest of the conference. And I mean, it was, I guess it was an extension of the conference, right? But it was so cool to have all these people in a circle just hanging out and playing this kind of brainy game. It was fun.
Yeah. it was a very, I think it was a really good game for a group of people that don't know each other at all, because you kind of have to really think about what it is that you're trying to convey to your team, or what you're trying to achieve, like getting it in that right spot, you know? Um, it
Yeah.
actually made me want to get the game and play with my husband to see like how like in sync we are, which I know we wouldn't be at all.
That's awesome. I love it. What did you think about on the last day, in the opening session, we talked about Pause being an art project and we did the 4 minutes and 33 seconds. What did you think of all that? Like you said, it was a different conference than you're used to. And that feels even further away than a lot of other conferences. What did you think?
Well, at first, I think like many other people, we were waiting for something to start playing. I guess we didn't realize that it was like it was going to be us. It's a recording of us. Um, but then once I realized, I just kind of sat and I looked around a little bit, and then I just kind of closed my eyes. I am a, I guess, amateur bird watcher, not good at all,
Oh,
and I
fun.
can only identify certain birds. But that was really nice, like just being able to close my eyes, and kind of hear the different sounds, the different chirps, and be able to identify what was around us, which was really cool. But it was, I mean, it was really nice. It's very, I don't know, it was a very interesting activity, just a big, large group of people just kind of collectively, I don't know, taking a breath and just sitting. I liked it though.
Yeah. It was cool from my perspective, since I was at the front of the stage, I could watch it. I would look down for a little bit, but then I'd look at the timer or the clock and then look at everyone. And it was so interesting to see what everyone was doing. Some people were in their own thoughts, right? Eyes closed. Some people were looking at a very specific point in the sky or against the building. But it seemed like everyone was having their own moment, which was pretty cool. So it's like collectively we were doing our own things. It was really nice.
Yeah.
All right. So we announced that Pause is going to be at the same place next year, which we're very excited about. Do you have any advice for future attendees that are new to Pause on Error?
Just be open, I guess. Um, Maybe like I had a bunch of questions that a lot of people really couldn't answer, or they were more like, you kind of just have to experience it, like some of my teammates.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of, there were other teammates that have never gone either, so they were like, I have no idea what to expect. But I guess I mean, if I could tell my past self, I would just say,
Mm-hmm.
just be open, and be ready, I guess, for downtime and silence. But it was very welcomed and much appreciated. I definitely needed some silence after a very rough year and a half. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a new mom, so I
Oh my
don't have
gosh.
very much quiet time. So it was
I was going to say, yeah.
yes. Yeah, yeah, sleeping in the woods in a really nice cabin for 4 days in the mountains in the middle of nowhere, Georgia, was very wonderful. Um, so yeah,
Oh,
I guess
that's
I would
awesome.
just tell
I
people just to be open.
Very cool. I am a mom of a 5 and 8-year-old and appreciated the quiet myself.
Yes, it was very, very nice. I also didn't know what to do with myself, because I
Yeah.
mean, you start your day where you're thinking of everything that needs to be done and everybody else, and then you have these like 3, 4 days where you just think about yourself and what do you want to do. And I guess I wasn't
Yeah.
prepared to answer that question. I didn't know what I wanted to do, um, but it was very
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. All right, awesome. Any last things you want to say about pause or anything else that we didn't cover?
I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I really did, and it
Good.
was great. I think the pause on perfection session was probably one of
Mm,
the I don't know how to describe it. Um, it was just really great to be around people and know that it wasn't just me that was struggling with these issues and these problems. To hear that other people are struggling with the same thing, even though we're all coding in different languages or frameworks or whatever, that we all experience these things, and we were kind of sharing ideas of how we get past it and dealing with imposter syndrome. So I think that one was very beneficial to me. And yeah, I really, it felt it felt kind of like we were all kind of like, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have the words to describe it. We all just kind of came together and just said like, wow, we're all weirdos in a way. And it just felt good.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I think,
Yeah, I think being in a group of like-minded people, I think being in a group of like-minded people, regardless of technology, says something. And I'm so glad you were there, and I'm so glad that you went, even though FileMaker is not your language of choice or your platform of choice. It's very cool to grow the group that way. So yeah, thank you for playing a part in all of in the art project, in the retreat part of it, the conference, all of it.
yeah, definitely. I mean, thank you for having me and for you and Chrissy putting it together. It was incredible. I was actually talking to
Of
Tanner
course.
about possibly if we all do end up going back next year, doing a
Uh,
session maybe on like React, JavaScript, and astronomy. I built an app
ooh.
using React Native where I use a bunch of APIs from NASA. And I also have a very powerful telescope that I thought maybe I would bring with me and I could do like a coding session, talk about the app, and then also, hey, everybody, let's go into the woods and look at stars. So,
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I will make sure to let John know you have to go. Oh man, that would be so cool. That's such a perfect pause on error kind of session, right? It's tech, it's not, it's real, it's a little bit of everything. I would love that. So yeah, I hope we can make that happen. I think that'd be very cool.
I hope so too.
All right, April, thank you for the time. I appreciate it. And I hope I get to see you at Pause next year with your telescope.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Martha. It was great to talk to you and see you again.